Have you ever felt that you take so long breaks between recording sessions that you even forgot how to speak? Well, I have. But you know what I didn't forget? Making this video. Hi there, so it's about time that all of you forgot what I was doing, so I will explain it for one last time. So I made this little challenge for myself that I offered 3 free character requests, and if you haven't seen the first 2 videos, this is the third one and final of this series. So the third picture is a rather cozy picture compared to the other 2. So this character that the requester wanted me to paint is an OC called Alice, and she's from the island of Avalon. She wields a sword, protects people from evil spirits, has magical fire abilities, and likes to smoke her pipe and tell interesting stories according to the description. So what I wanted to do with this piece, this whole pipe and fire theme, was just asking for a night scene. I've done a few night scenes before. Many times I just wasn't really satisfied with them, so I wanted to practice to make a really dark looking night scene. The main light sources would be the moon and the fire that Alice conjures. So the whole thing was kind of inspired by that scene from Lord of the Rings, if you remember, the one where Aragorn shows up for the first time and we just barely see his face when his pipe lights it up. And I wanted to do something like that. Also, I was going for a guardian character, so it wouldn't be like just a simple sitting or standing pose, nor an aggressive one. So my idea was that she's encountering some intruders near the village, and she just holds up her sword in a not really aggressive way, signaling that anyone who wishes to come closer should either explain themselves or turn back. So these intruders are outside the shot, and they are visible only on the reflection on the sword. Her whole expression and body language revolves around this, like she's standing in a semi-battle pose. She just wants to look menacing, ready for a quick sword fight if necessary, and she's not afraid of using her fire ability if it's required. So at this point I should explain some little thing. For anyone who is into digital art, you may know Marco Bucci, who's an art teacher and who worked for Disney and all sorts of really big names in the animation and illustration world. And you know, I always kind of attempt to paint like him, like this really free and careless way. It's a rather hard thing to explain how he actually works. He doesn't really use any construction lines or anything, just goes with the flow and kind of figures out everything on the way, which is something that might be really hard for beginners or even a sort of intermediate person like I am. But sometimes it's just the best thing to use. You will just look back at it a few months or years later and you will just wonder, how on earth did you do that? Like this whole village in the background just turned out so great compared to my regular backgrounds. I will be just wondering how on earth did I do this. The another challenge of this picture was the moonlight. I wanted to create a convincing night scene. I wanted to push these washed out colors that pretty much everything is a sort of grey, this bluish grey, and only key features of this painting are really colorful, like that flame. So I'm pretty satisfied with the result, even for the very first version, because if it's not even entirely realistic, it's like convincing enough to make someone believe that it is actually a dark night scene. I made an attempt to really make this clothing believable in this lighting scenario. I like the way it stands out from the background, like the most colorful part of the picture is the character herself. I put some extra attention into little details like the smoke of the pipe and little details on the village. These are pretty much just eye candy, but they make this whole picture more believable. All parts of the picture look busy, And notice how she's holding that sword over the path, like she's actually holding a barricade that the intruders have to break in order to get into the village. I originally intended these to be turned into videos, and one really helpful thing is that I had some time to get away from these pictures and rework them later before doing the videos. So this is the very first version of the picture. There are several parts that I really dislike in this one. First of all, a minor problem is that this whole scene is a little bit too bright, so I wanted to tone down the whole brightness of the image and make the flame and the moon and the sword a little more shiny. And also the whole dress has a rather nice painterly look. Like, I kind of like it how it is, but it just lacks that quality that I originally imagined. And her face just, you know, it's unfinished looking. It's rather, the expression is not that clear. Like, what is she even trying to say with her face? And also just many little details, like this sword being a little disproportionate, like this handle is really tiny and it seems broken if you look at it from closer. This hand is rather uninteresting and pretty broken. The whole contrast is, well, not bad, but it can be improved, and it was indeed improved. So this is it for now, and you will see the final version of this picture now. Okay, the first thing that you see in this version, the whole environment became darker. It just feels more like a night scene, like an actual night scene. I completely repainted this flame. It looked pretty weird in the original, like this really texturized brush didn't really give it justice. The whole character's outfit got a little rework. It reacts more to the light as it should. I gave some touch to these wrinkles as well, and I added this little cloth texture to it. Also, I mentioned Marco Bucci just a moment ago. While I was reworking this picture, he released a new video about a really cool effect that I wanted to try out in this one. So if you haven't seen this video, it's about this really cool effect called light fall off, where pretty much you pick a really bright light source and you create a nice transition using multiple hues, so you can create these really nice color effects that are not really realistic in most scenarios, but they can improve your paintings a little bit. So I was super into this thing and I wanted to try it out. And what better way I could do that than with Alice, that is a really contrasty and overall dark picture that really requires some additional colors in it. So what I did, originally this dress was nothing but this grayish white color, and it featured some yellow lights and some blue lights, or like bluish silver lights from the moon. Instead I went into it and added more of these reddish colors, how this whole yellow thing translates into this grayish bluish. That is the shadow color of this dress. And also I added some purples to the parts where this bluish silver light transitions into the red dress. So I'm not entirely sure if I did my best with this effect. Also, my face cam is at the wrong place. There you go. I really wanted to try it out, and you know, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Like, the whole dress just was washed out and grey in the original version, and now it has more colors and it has this nice effect to it. It might not be really realistic, but you know, sometimes you just have to sacrifice some realism to a much nicer look. You know, I'm not an expert on this, I just saw this really cool effect and I wanted to add it to my picture. I made the whole sword a little better, like I fixed the handle and I made a more believable reflection to the blade. This blade is facing a darker part of the picture and I wanted to show that. Also I added two little silhouettes next to the original one, so it's not just one intruder who is arriving, but actually it is three. I did the whole thing with the legs. I added this slight fall off effect to the skin. Now you can see this purplish color. Also just detailed the shoes a little bit. It was a rather big weakness of the original picture. And of course the most important thing that I improved is the face of Alice. I received more details. I added this reddish orangish transition and I added some more colors to her hair. This purple for the moonlight and the reds for the flame light. And I like the way how it looks. Maybe I will look at it like a few weeks or months from now and I will say that wow, this is horrendous what I was even thinking about. But not right now, as I'm looking at it, I really like how it turned out and I think that this effect really improved this picture for the West. I added more of this bloom and this one is more of an actual night scene, a scene that might take place only seconds before a little duel starts between Alice and the intruders. Sometimes you just surprise yourself how much you can actually improve a piece within a few hours of rendering. So this is everything I wanted to say for now, and yes, this is Alice of Avalon, guardian of a village, a great storyteller, a battle mage, a master of sword fighting, and the subject of a nice project I could work on. But tell me if you think I'm wrong. Let's have a conversation down in the comments, like down here somewhere. Did I reach that? Oh, okay. So about this little project, I finished the first two artworks and they are uploaded and everything. And this one is coming soon. I mean, you are watching it right now. I just wanted to say that I'm happy how this very first project of mine turned out. I will be trying out some more things in the future, but for now this was my little request trilogy. So about the future, as I said, I'm going to attend Maps The Halloween Club 2021. It was a really great experience doing this last year, and this year I want to finish the whole list and make even more nice pictures for this challenge. I have already started this project and I'm making something new, something I've never done before. So if you like this little project and you want to come with me on the new adventure for the Halloween Club 2021, then you know what to do. Believe me when I say that every single comment, every like, every you is just a really big miracle for me that there might be people who actually enjoy this video. So before I talk way too much again and end up with like 2 hours of recording that just lands in the garbage bin, I want to thank you very much for watching. Please forgive me for my mistakes. I'm still really new to this thing. I still struggle a lot with making commentaries, and you know, you're looking at just an avatar because I don't have a proper face cam right now. But I have bigger plans for the future, and the next big step for me will be this Halloween challenge series. And I hope that I will end up creating something enjoyable, not only the pictures, but also the videos themselves. So I will see all of you in October, and until next time, thank you for watching again. Just please let me know if you enjoyed this creation. Otherwise, I know the right person to send after you. I'm watching.